Hey gang, this is Travis Garza, and I hope you're having an amazing day today. And today I'm gonna come to you with a topic that some of you may or may not know about in regards to the answer. And so I still get emails frequently with people going through my programs who are very successful, but then they come with me with a question of what exercises can I do to reduce the fat between my legs? What exercise can I do to make my stomach more aesthetically appealing with showing of the abs or whatever? What particular exercise can I do to make my arms more defined? And the list goes on and on. But I would say probably the number one question is the first one is what can I do to reduce, what exercises can I do to reduce the fat in between my legs? And I will tell you this, that marketers have been playing off this for years and years. And I did a little research today. Haven't done it in a long time. I used to before my seminars. And today, it amazes me that some of the gadgets that were out back in the 80s are still here. And first of all, let me talk to you about fat and fat cells. So we all have a certain amount of fat cells. And you may not want to hear this, but fat cells are always going to be there. Now, when we're exercising and we're eating properly, we shrink those fat cells down. We do reduce body fat, but those fat cells are always going to be there, okay? There's really no way to remove them permanently, and that's not a bad thing. We need those. But as we exercise and we continue to eat right and make progress, they shrink down. That's why it's so important that people maintain a lifetime of physical activity and eating balanced, or better if you want to call it, okay? You just can't sit around and not do anything. I see ads today that are coming out about eat right and you don't have to work out, and there's some truth to that, but your body was designed to exercise, okay? There's more to it than just, shrinking down because you're eating better. So, to address the topic on how we actually reduce body fat and where we can reduce body fat there isn't one. The body picks and chooses where it wants to reduce body fat. Long term, it will eventually get to the area that you're most focused on. And typically, it's funny, let's just call it what it is. I ask females all the time to help them with this question is, when you're losing weight, what's the first thing that goes? Number one answer, breast, okay? And that's typically not something most people are wanting to lose, especially their husbands, right? So my point on that is the body goes after the fat that it seeks, and it's different for everyone. And what happens is we start noticing, I look great here, but I'm not getting results here. There must be an exercise that can help that, okay? The answer is that's untrue. That's a myth. Now, there's a lot of gadgets out there that will help tone and firm a particular area, okay? I'm not neglecting that or denying that, but there's not a certain exercise or a certain gadget that you can buy or exercise that's going to target reducing that fat any faster, okay? The body will eventually get there. You have to have patience, and you have to look at longevity here. So after it's taken body fat from different areas, it eventually gets to there. I'll give you an example of me in the 80s when I was competing. I had the worst time in the world getting fat off my back. My whole body would be shredded and ready for competition. And as I learned over the years how it worked, eventually about 2 weeks before my competition, it would take the fat from my back because it had taken it everywhere else. I had nowhere else to take it from, so it took it from the back. So whatever your problem area is, it'll get there. But buying these gadgets, it amazes me that people, and this is a $1 billion industry, playing off your emotions, okay? You ask, hey, how can I spot reduce, what exercise can I do to reduce that fat between my legs? All you gotta do is Google it. And to this day, Suzanne Summers is still selling her Thigh Master. I'm blown away. I think they modified it a little bit, but this is still on the market. This is that thing you put between your legs and you sit there and squeeze it back and forth while you're sitting at your desk, working at work, and they're promising it will slim down your thighs, okay? If you're doing this and you're not following any kind of an eating plan, okay, that's not gonna work, okay? And I just wanna bring that to light, that will tone that area, sure, but so will overall working out. The workout you do with us, you're getting a full body workout, so everything's getting worked. You don't need to invest in this thing, okay? What you're gonna have to have is some patience. So, Suzanne Summers, her thing here is a little bit better picture here. Also, this is still around, blows me away, is the ab roller. Still on the market today for those people that think this is gonna give them a six-pack abs, okay? That's a question men come to me with. Hey, how do I get the six-pack, okay? When actually, to let you know, the anatomy, it's an 8-pack. You just don't see the lower two most of the time. But here's the deal. you're born with the 6-pack, you're born with an 8-pack. And actually it's one big ab, and there's things called ribose that go across it that hold it into the body so it doesn't pop out, that give it the 8-pack definition. And the way to get that, again, is consistently eating balanced and exercising. Eventually the body starts taking that fat and you start seeing what you were born with is the abdominals, okay? They're there. And women, that inner thigh fat, okay, it will eventually come off. You just got to be consistent and have a little patience and let the body take its course. So also, these are actually still in gyms, okay? I'm shocked at that. This is that thing you sit on and you move your legs back and forth with a bunch of weight on the back. And I'll be honest with you, this thing here can backfire on you. And you're like, why is that? You put a lot of weight on this and you do this relentlessly, which I see women back in the day were always on that thing. And they had like 80, 60 pounds on there, 60, 80 pounds just going away on it. You're going to actually start building up that muscle in that inner thigh. You're thinking you're spot reducing, but you're building up that thigh muscle. And there's nothing wrong with that to some extent. But when you're going targeted like that, if that thigh muscle grows a little bit, it's just going to push that fat that's still taking its time to come off out, which makes your thighs look even more fat on the inner area. I will use the same analogy with if you're doing the ab machine at the gym. I used to own a fitness center and there was a guy come in, stack 100 pounds on there, and he was cranking his abs. I mean, every day. I bet he sat there until he did 100 of them. It was amazing, the strength of his abdominals. Now, he did build up his abdominal strength, but he also built up his abdominals. So they may have been like this with his belly on top of it, and his abdominals grew like that, and it pushed the fat out even further. So the appearance when he put his clothes on was he was fatter. And I've actually suffered from that just slightly through my bodybuilding career. Even though I knew not to crank on my abs like that, when you build up your abdominals through just lifting and training for shows, you so much put just a little bit of fat on your abdominals, even though you can see your abdominals. In a shirt, it looks like your stomach's sticking out. So be cautious on these heavy weighted exercises. Actually, they're not necessary, especially if you're doing our workouts at Garza's. Now, let's go to what I think is the most popular thing today, and it's this guy, okay? This is comical to me. People wear these sweat bodysuits underneath their workout clothes, and they're like, no, this works. This shrinks my waist. This is making my belly go down. Okay, what it's doing is taking the water out of the fat cell I just described that you have. It pulls the water out, shrinks it down, and yes, you do look slimmer. It looks better, but as soon as you start drinking water, guess where that water goes? It finds the places that have been dehydrated and goes right back into them. Eventually, you're going right back. You have not actually effectively reduced body fat because this does not do that. It just takes the water tissue out, you shrink down, you weigh less, and you feel happy about yourself. So this is ineffective also at spot reducing. They've got these for your thighs also. So again, this is false. This guy's still around. This is the ab wheel that you see people rolling out. I see them cranking it out, thinking that's going to make that 6-pack to show up. Again, this is great for toning up the abdominal muscles. I have no qualms with that or no beef with that. I just want you to know is this is not the key to actually seeing your abdominal section, okay? Eating balanced, working out consistently, they will show up, okay? They're there. So I love this ad. This is back to this thing again that you wrap around your waist. So with this ad, we got this chick on here. Now she looks pretty amazing. And look at her abs and look at her stomach. And she's basically advertising that that made her look like that. That's crap. This woman, if you talk to her just by the looks of her and the way I see the muscle tone in her arms and stuff like that, she works out consistently. She probably does fitness shows and she's always on a good eating plan, even a little bit more strict than possibly you would have to be to get here eventually. But this lady here did not get this way by using this. She's a paid marketer, but you know this, okay? Last, I found what the latest gimmick is, and this is cracking me up. You now can get liposuction without liposuction, and this is only $16. You just strap this thing on your stomach here and turn the gadget on. Look at it, it's got pretty lights. I mean, it looks like a little UFO on your stomach there. That's pretty funny. My kids would probably think that's amusing. And it just whirls away the stomach fat here. So $16, you can buy this online. If you need to see the website, to go ahead and buy that. There it is right there. You know this is false, all right? Come on, use your common sense. Take off your goggles of I wish there was such a thing. If there wasn't such a thing, I would never have to work again a day in my life, but there's not. It's back to the basics of consistently eating better. You're gonna have setbacks, it's okay. It's do better days more than you do worse days. Consistently workout plan, something you can live with, and being realistic. And over time, that fat between your thighs and your abdominals and your arms will eventually fade away with consistency, which is the name of the game. Hope this helps you guys. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.